I believed our promises of love were etched in every tender word he spoke, each "I love you" a vow of forever that sealed our destiny. I reveled in the dreams we spun together, convinced that nothing could shatter the future we had so carefully planned. Then one ordinary afternoon an email arrived in my inbox that I wasn't meant to see, a hidden message that unraveled his secret plans with another woman. In that crushing instant, every promise we had shared splintered into shards of betrayal, and the world I trusted crumbled around me, leaving only the bitter taste of deception and a heart aching for answers. I still remember the days when our love felt like a warm embrace on a cool autumn evening. We met unexpectedly at a mutual friend's gathering, a serendipitous collision of fate and gentle conversation over steaming cups of coffee. His smile, genuine and full of quiet confidence, made me believe that I had finally found a soulmate who understood every nuance of my heart. Every whispered promise, every soft "I love you," built a future in my mind, a home filled with laughter, quiet dinners and shared dreams that stretched as far as the horizon. I trusted him implicitly, believing that our love was invincible and that our every word was a pledge of an eternal bond. For a time, life with him was a tapestry of simple joys and shared adventures. We spent weekends exploring hidden trails in the nearby woods, our fingers intertwined as we strolled under a canopy of rustling leaves. Evenings were filled with gentle conversation on our time-worn sofa, where we discussed everything from the mundane details of our day to our most secret aspirations. Our apartment became a sanctuary, filled with framed photographs capturing joyful moments, little trinkets that spoke of our inside jokes, and a sense of comfort that only true love can bring. Every day as I woke up to his familiar presence and listened to his soft, reassuring words, I believed that we were building a future on unshakable foundations. Then, one crisp winter afternoon while I was busy organizing our shared home office, sorting through old documents, receipts and memories, I stumbled upon something that I never expected. Tucked away in a dusty folder was an email that bore no subject related to work or our life together. Instead, its content was laced with the unmistakable language of desire and secret plans. My heart froze as I read through it, realizing that this was not a forgotten message from a business contact, but a covert communication that revealed his plans with another woman. The email was meticulously worded, a careful blueprint of a secret life he'd built without me. It mentioned a series of rendezvous, intimate dinners at a fancy restaurant I'd never heard of, and whispered promises of a future that did not include our shared dreams. For a long moment, I sat in stunned silence, the gentle hum of the computer fan the only sound in the room. My mind raced, trying to reconcile the man I loved, the man who had vowed to build our future on trust, with this hidden message that exposed a betrayal I had never imagined possible. The email's words were both precise and devastating, each sentence a cold reminder that his promises of devotion were not as solid as I had believed. I felt as though the ground had vanished beneath me, leaving me suspended in a painful limbo of disbelief and heartache. In the days that followed, I struggled to maintain a facade of normalcy. I went about my daily routines, attended to work and household chores, and even tried to engage in our usual evening conversations, but every moment was now tinted with an overwhelming sense of betrayal. I replayed our happiest memories over and over, the soft laughter during quiet dinners, the gentle caresses on cold mornings, the whispered "I love yous" that had once filled me with hope, and each recollection was now tainted by the knowledge that his love had been divided. The revelation from the hidden email gnawed at me, and every time he glanced at his phone, my heart pounded with the dread of another secret yet to be revealed. Unable to contain my mounting despair, I began to search for more evidence. I combed through his digital footprint with trembling hands, revisiting old messages and call logs, each discovery reinforcing the painful truth that he had been living a double life. I found screenshots of flirty texts, images from upscale restaurants, and even calendar entries marking dates for special occasions that were never mentioned during our shared planning sessions. I compiled all this evidence into a single folder on my laptop that I labeled Truth. Every new piece of evidence was a dagger to my heart, but it also lit a fire of determination within me, a resolve to confront this betrayal and reclaim the future I deserved. I confided in my closest friend, someone who had always been there to offer support and perspective through the ups and downs of life. Over countless cups of tea in a quiet cafe, I poured out every painful detail, the hidden email, the secret messages, the evidence of a love that was not mine. "You deserve a love that is honest and whole," she said softly, her eyes brimming with empathy. "You deserve a future where your trust is honored, not shattered by secrets." Her words, though gentle, resonated deep within me, strengthening my resolve to face the truth head-on. Determined to confront him, I spent days rehearsing my words in the solitude of my bedroom, standing before the mirror until my reflection showed the woman I needed to be, a woman unafraid to seek the truth no matter how painful it might be. I practiced until each syllable of "I trusted you, and how could you?" echoed with the raw power of my grief and the budding strength of my newfound self-respect. Each rehearsal was a promise to myself that I would not allow this betrayal to define my future. I vowed that I would reclaim my life, that I would no longer be shackled by a love built on deception. The day of confrontation arrived on a chilly, overcast afternoon. Our apartment, once a warm haven filled with shared dreams and laughter, felt cold and distant, its silence heavy with unspoken truths. I sat in the living room, the folder of evidence clutched tightly in my hands, as I waited for him to return from what he claimed was another busy day at work. Every minute stretched on agonizingly, and my heart pounded with a mixture of fear, sorrow, and a fierce resolve to face the man I once loved. When he finally walked through the door, his face was calm, almost eerily so, a practiced mask of nonchalance that now seemed incongruous with the weight of the evidence I carried. I rose to meet him, my voice steady despite the storm raging inside me, and said simply, "We need to talk." His eyes flickered briefly toward the folder on the coffee table, and I saw a glimmer of uncertainty before he masked it with a hesitant smile. I led him to the living room, where the soft afternoon light cast long shadows on the floor, and I opened the folder, revealing the screenshots, the emails, the evidence of his secret plans with another woman. "I trusted every word you said," I began, my voice barely above a whisper yet carrying every ounce of my heartbreak. "I believed our future was built on love, honesty, and unwavering devotion. But these messages, these plans, they reveal a truth I can no longer ignore. How could you promise me forever while you were building a hidden life with someone else?" My words hung heavy in the air, each one a sharp reminder of the dreams we had once shared and the betrayal that now lay between us. For a long, agonizing moment he was silent. I watched as his eyes filled with regret and his face crumpled with the weight of the truth. He tried to offer excuses, vague references to work stress, claims that it was just harmless fun. But every explanation crumbled under the overwhelming evidence. I pressed on, my voice growing stronger as I demanded the truth. "I deserve to know why you lied to me, why you broke our promises. I deserve a love that is genuine and honest." His silence was more damning than any words, a silent confession that our future, the one I had believed in so completely, was nothing more than a carefully constructed lie. The confrontation shattered the illusion of our shared life in an instant. I felt the weight of every broken promise, every tender "I love you" that now rang hollow, like echoes in an empty room. The pain was almost unbearable, a deep, aching sorrow that seeped into every corner of my being. Yet amid that heartbreak, I felt a small, persistent flame of resolve. I realized that while the betrayal had cut me deeply, it also gave me the opportunity to reclaim my identity, to rebuild my future on my own terms. In the days that followed, I withdrew into a cocoon of quiet reflection. I wandered through our apartment, each room now a poignant reminder of the life we had built and the secrets that had unraveled it. I spent long nights poring over the evidence I had gathered, each screenshot and email a stark testament to the hidden world he had created, a world where I was no longer the center of his universe. The pain was raw and unyielding, yet with every tear that fell, I felt a small measure of my strength return. I began to understand that while the scars of betrayal might never fully fade, they could serve as powerful reminders of the resilience that lay within me, a resilience that would carry me forward into a future defined by truth and self-respect. I sought solace in therapy, where I poured out my heart in long, cathartic sessions. My therapist helped me untangle the complex web of emotions, grief, anger, self-doubt, and slowly I began to see that I was more than the sum of his lies. I learned to let go of the dreams that had been built on deception, and to embrace a future that was entirely my own. I began journaling relentlessly, each entry a raw, unfiltered expression of my journey from heartbreak to healing. I discovered that the pain, as excruciating as it was, could also be the catalyst for profound transformation, a chance to rebuild, to rediscover my self-worth, and to create a life defined by authenticity and hope. Publicly, the unraveling of our once happy future became a quiet, bittersweet subject among our circle of friends and family. Whispers of sympathy and gentle glances accompanied me wherever I went, and while I felt the weight of judgment from some, I also received an outpouring of support from those who knew my heart. I began sharing my story on a personal blog, writing with raw honesty about the betrayal, the confrontation, and the slow, painstaking process of reclaiming my life. The responses were overwhelming. messages of encouragement, shared stories of similar heartbreak, and reminders that I was not alone. Each note of support was a tiny spark that helped kindle the flame of resilience within me. As the months turned into a year, I slowly began to rediscover who I was before the betrayal, a woman with dreams, passions, and an unyielding capacity for love. I ventured back into the world of dating with a guarded heart and a cautious optimism born from hard-won lessons. Every new encounter was a delicate dance of vulnerability and self-protection, but with every genuine smile and kind word, I mended a little more of my shattered heart. I learned that true love must be nurtured with honesty and transparency, and that I deserved a partner who would cherish my trust rather than exploit it. Each sunrise became a symbol of renewal, a promise that my future was mine to shape, free from the shadows of deception. Now, as I sit in the soft, warm glow of my modest apartment, a space that I have transformed into a sanctuary of healing and new beginnings, I reflect on the long, winding journey that led me from the depths of betrayal to a place of quiet empowerment. The memory of that hidden email, with its intimate details of his stealthy plans with another woman, remains etched in my heart as a painful reminder of the fragility of trust. And yet, it also stands as a testament to the strength I discovered within myself, a strength that allowed me to confront the truth, reclaim my dignity, and rebuild my future on my own terms. Every sunrise now is a promise of new beginnings, a chance to rewrite my story and to embrace a future defined not by the lies of the past but by the unwavering light of truth and self-respect. I have learned that betrayal, as devastating as it can be, can also serve as a catalyst for transformation, a painful invitation to rediscover who I truly am beneath the layers of shattered promises and broken trust. I now move forward with an unshakable conviction that I deserve a love that is honest, transparent, and built on mutual respect. A love that values my heart as much as I value my own. This is my story, a journey of shattered illusions and heartbreaking betrayal, of the painful process of uncovering the truth, and ultimately, of the triumphant reclamation of my life. I trusted him when he promised our home was built on love, when every I love you was a sacred vow meant to secure our future together. But when I discovered that hidden email, revealing his stealthy plans with another woman, I was forced to confront a truth that shattered everything I had believed in. In that devastating moment, I found the strength to gather every piece of evidence, to face the painful reality, and to reclaim my future from the ruins of deception. Every tear, every sleepless night, every agonizing moment has led me to this place. A place where I now stand as a survivor, determined to live a life defined by honesty, self-respect, and the unwavering promise that I am worthy of a love that is real. Now, as I step boldly into each new day, I carry with me the lessons of the past and the hope for a future that is entirely my own. A future where every promise is honored with truth, every dream is built on the solid foundation of trust, and my heart is free to love without fear. Every sunrise is a fresh canvas, a chance to rewrite my story, to embrace the strength that lies within me, and to forge a destiny defined not by the shadows of betrayal but by the brilliant light of truth and resilience. I am the architect of my own destiny, and with each new day, I choose to live a life filled with genuine love, unwavering honesty, and the unbreakable promise that I deserve nothing less than a future built on the unyielding pillars of trust and respect.